29th of November, and the year is 2024. Therefore, the month of November is ending tomorrow. Tomorrow is 30th of this particular month, and the year still remains 2024. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. This is a news program at West Nile Television that comes on your way from Mondays to Sundays from the hour of 7 p.m. up to the hour of 8 p.m. where we give you a lot in what is happening in the world of news. As usual, we start with what is in the headlines before we give you the details of the news. As I had said, let's start with what is in the headlines before I get back to give you the details of the news.
In the headlines tonight, West Nile region sets the pace for local economic development in relation to philanthropy for development. FIDA Uganda celebrates 50 years with a call to end gender-based violence in Greater Nebi. And at least over 100 youths in Ajuman district awarded certificates in ICT and multimedia. Details about this in NILECAST news.
Welcome back from the headlines. Now getting to the details of the news. After successful and fruitful discussions about the implementation of local economic development strategies and policies at city and district level within West Nile region, today the focus turned to that regional level in which similar issues were addressed to effectively empower lead in West Nile region.
In the headlines tonight, West Nile region sets the pace for local economic development in relation to philanthropy. After successful and fruitful discussions about the implementation of local economic development strategies and policies at the city and the district level in the recent days, the focus turned to regional level in which different stakeholders across different sectors in the city and other districts across the region, with the presence of representatives of Uganda NGO Forum and WESESNET, the amplifiers of LED, all turned up to analyze and lay strategies to empower local economic development initiative in the region. Akelo Juliet, Senior Program Associate with the Uganda NGO Forum, says it's a nationwide program. Therefore, after this, people's concerns shall be presented at national level.
This program is going on all over the country. We have about 7 post sub-regions, and these are in West Nile, Ankole, Bunyoro, Toro, Kigezi, Sebei, Karamoja, and Buganda. How did we conceive this? We said that since the communities do not even understand or know about trade, this conversation started from community level. At this stage, 2 meetings have already happened in West Nile. They had their fireplace discussions, and there are a lot to learn. But we want this conversation not to end at district level. And that's why we have involved all districts in this process. We have post districts, but then we invite representatives from the other districts. So we are doing some sort of public research, and we want all this information to feed into a document that we shall share at the national level.
Orengi Moses, Program Manager with West Nile Civil Society Network, says different stakeholders are able to identify key challenges, opportunities, and also lay strategies in implementing the initiative.
We're able to, as a region, identify some of the key challenges and also opportunities that we have in place, and also moving forward, come up with the strategies and align people in terms of taking responsibility, which will do what, where. There are issues that have come out very keenly, like issues of disseminating information to the grassroots about lead. I think this will improve implementation of lead policy. And also there are a number of issues that have come up. People have committed, the district, local government, the private sector, the CSO that we have all committed to seeing how we can drive lead forward.
Meanwhile, Olumula Met, District Commercial Officer Zombo District, says They are trying their best to implement lead in the district by getting in touch with the local community members.
This week we are trying our best to implement the strategy. One of the strategy, one of the intervention is to put in place those necessary resource teams in place. Number two, we have moved to sensitize and mobilize the community. We held the district stakeholders engagement. From there now we are moving to the sub-counties and meeting the various private sector operators. That is what the step we are taking on.
Whereas but afraid, local government engagement specialist elements by advising local leaders to impress tourism, which will provide revenue at the end.
We have touted tourism potentials in the region, but what have we done as a region? Have we actually developed a tourism circuit for the region? Visitors come to Arua. The only thing with it, there is a Benicadiana side, there is this, and they just drive there. What are we harvesting from this? I think we need to challenge ourselves and begin to turn this into business.
Okonze Alfred, Chairman Arua District, encourages the public to impress lead in order to improve their standard of living at local level.
How much have we benefited from our God-given resources in this region is the question we all have to answer. And that is why we are here for what is called local economic development. If we exploit this very, very well, this opportunity, if we exploit it very, very well, we will be having sustainable source of revenue for our region, which will enable our people to earn a very good living, For us as district chairpersons, our mandate is to enhance living conditions, improve the living conditions of our people.
Local economic development, in partnership with the Philanthropy for Development, focuses in identifying and using local resources, ideas, and skills to stimulate economic growth and development. Therefore, Uganda NGO Forum, together with Western Regional Civil Society Network and local leaders, works together in enhancing it. Oraku Benson Pastore, Western Television NILECAST.
Welcome back from that story. Now jetting to Greater Alu region, particularly in Nebi. As FIDA Uganda celebrates 50 years, women activists in Greater Nebi have encouraged the leaders not to shy away, but should come out and report cases of violence against women and girls. Alfred Jawo compiles the story.
As FIDA Uganda celebrates 50 years, women activists in Greater Nebi have encouraged leaders not to shy away but should come out and report cases of violence meted against women and girls. These has come as cases of violence have been reported by the women at Uganda Association of Women Lawyers FIDA Uganda Nebi office. This was revealed today, 29th November 2024, during a charitable work organized by FIDA Uganda Nebi branch. These, according to women activists, the high cases of gender-based violence in Nebi district is attributable to the general poor perceptions of the society about women. According to Elizabeth Kemugisha, the legal officer FIDA Uganda, the facility records more violence cases by the women as compared to the men.
Advocacy work to call upon communities to find this an alarming issue. We are using the work to spotlight this problem, and we do hope that the leaders, not just in Nebi, but at the national level, take these things into consideration. Our key recommendations is indeed to increase support towards addressing the problem that is teenage pregnancy. But at the bottom of everything that we have seen today is poverty that puts parents even in positions where they continue to negotiate in cases of SGBV. So we pray and recommend that the government through the line ministries continues to address the growing numbers of poverty, the bad situations in which the schools are in, give the teachers the right tools to work with to be able to support students, especially those in school.
According to the recent statistics, since 2021, the police in West Nile recorded 5,373 cases of gender-based violence in the districts of Arua, Nebi, Kopoko, Zombo, Maracha, and Pakwach. Innocent Ajoga, Nebi District Inspector of Schools, says cases of violence against the men are still rampant, but most of the cases go unnoticed.
We invited them and they complied very well. We are grateful that the message has reached the community. We managed to walk around town passing the message about violence against children, violence against the girls, violence against the women. So we still advocate, please, let's consider the female as our equal.
Donald Owachgill, Assistant RDC Nebi, was the chief guest, urges the government and development partners not to leave out the men and boys as far as gender empowerment programs are concerned.
We can deliver our young mothers who are being disturbed. As the festive season is drawing near, let's give this young one home. You're teaching them how to dress well as they communicated. Keep them home. Keep on watch tonight.
This highlights the power of informative engagement to end gender-based violence in the society. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILECAST.
Now moving to Greater Madi region, particularly in Ajuman district, over 100 youths in Ajuman district, today 29th of November 2024, received certificates during 5 days training on ICT and multimedia, which started on 25th of November 2024 at Rio Guest House in Ajuman district, with the aim of empowering youths with ICT and multimedia knowledge so as to create jobs for themselves. Take a look at the story.
Over 100 youths in Ajumani district today, 29th November 2024, received certificates during the 5 days training on ICT and multimedia, which started on 25th of November 2024 at Rio Guest House in Ajumani district, with the aim of empowering the youths with ICT and multimedia knowledge so as to create jobs for themselves. Ambayo Jimmy, one of the participants, recommended Uganda Communication Commissions for the tremendous training and urged the government of Uganda to continue giving such skills to the youth of Moyom.
Finally, today the training is done. I am very happy, UCC, for coming to train the youth, and that my appeal to the youth outside there is let's continue working hard. The LC5 of Juman district clearly said that the youth are very lazy. They don't want to work hard. And he's also appealing that he's inviting you to come back again and continue training.
While addressing the youths during the award of certificates, Honorable Anyama Ben, the district chairman, asked the youths to embrace the knowledge bestowed on them. According to him, information is key and youths should use it carefully regarding the rules of Uganda Communication Commissions.
You must use it maximum to popularize the government program, which benefits also you, the youth. Ajuman district got in 1 billion on the utilization of the program. But unfortunately, this is supposed to require a maximum. But unfortunately, when you want this money, you don't want to give to your colleague. How can we change the society? How can we change the money? How can we change Uganda? How can you change yourself? Is the question. Therefore, I want to ask my youth to make sure this program benefits you.
Emmanuel Okware, Deputy Resident District Commissioner of Ajumani District, on his remarks said the government of Uganda has never forgotten the youths of Uganda in its plan and called upon the youths to embrace the skills.
We know that ICT is not only luxury. ICT is a real serious tool that we should all adopt, that we should all be prepared to make good use of. So when a training of this nature is organized, we as leaders who are based in various offices and districts, key to see our youths gain miles in their knowledge levels, make a contribution, take advantage of the prevailing environment, make themselves more productive. I think it's something that we welcome, it's something that we highly appreciate, and something that we want to promote. We obviously know that the 5 days have been intensive.
Masidaru Onjima Allen, West Nile TV, NILECAST.
Now, leaving the other segment of news, now coming into the world of sports, I can confirm to you match the 6 of West Nile Regional League bounced back today with Arua Airfield losing miserable into the hands of the team that comes from Nebi, called it Nebi Central. But that's not the only game. So many games we have played, but still tomorrow games shall also be played, and also on Sunday, still also Bet Power FIFA Big Leagues is also bouncing back. But the biggest game seems to be the one between the Qatar, that's on the Park Cup against the Blacks Power, and also English Premier League is bouncing back tonight with Brighton and Hove Albion having a date with the team of Southampton, plus the other leagues we have in Europe, whereby Barcelona will be having a date up against Las Palmas, not forgetting other breaking stories, and Amorim picked his first win for the team of Manchester United in UEFA Europa League yesterday night after edging Bodo Glimt of Norway by 3-2. As usual, let's go systematically, and we start with what is happening in West Nile Regional League. As I said earlier on, Nebi Central was away to the team of Arua Airfield, and they humiliated them by 6-1 there. That means they are still on top of the log. I'm talking about the team of Nebi Central with superior goal difference there. And taking a look at the game set to be played tomorrow, Pakwati Youngsters will be staying at Omati as they will be taking on Okolo Central, with the Nile Hippos visiting Alpha Rising at the Pandur playing ground. Meanwhile, for Total, they will be staying within Yumbe as they welcome a side in the names of Nyangilia Super Eagles. For Ajuman Town Council, they will have to say hi to Dasi Coach Urban at Paridi. And then on Sunday, Paida United will be having a date with Dasi Ovison United. For Kuluva Rainbow, they will be having Dasi Greater Arue Derby as they will be visiting Dasi Arue City at Prisons Playground. Meanwhile, for Police Ground rather. Meanwhile, for Androvo, a team that comes from Maracha, will be having a date with Koboko Rising Stars. And the last game to be played on Sunday will see the date between BK City as Barakali City up against Araka. And this game will be at Bomber Grounds in Yumbe. It will also be Yumbe Derby because Barakala City and Araka, these are the teams that all share the status of Das Yumbe. These are the games to be played in West Nile Regional League, and the kickoff time for all the games are at 4 p.m. East African time. And this one takes our trend to what happened yesterday night in UEFA Europa League and also in Europa Conference. And so many games we have played. The biggest win actually was registered by the team of Ferencvaros over the team of Das Malmo FF of Sweden, and they humiliated them by 4-1. And let's take a look at the games one by one. Manchester United, as said earlier on, we are 3-2 winners over Bodo Glimt of that's Norway. For Porto, they were away to Belgium and they had to settle for a 2-2 draw with Anderlecht. Meanwhile, Athletic Bilbao stayed in Spain and they did beat Elfsborg by 3-0. Galatasaray had to settle for a 1-1 draw with the team of Eze Alkmaar, and Maccabi Tel Aviv of Israel we are away to Besiktas in Turkey, and they managed to win the game by 3-1. Meanwhile, for Victoria Plzen, they left the Czech Republic to travel to Ukraine to take on Dynamo Kyiv, and emerged victorious in that particular encounter, beating the side in the names of Dynamo Kiev by 2-1. Lazio, meanwhile, had to share the spoils with Ludogorets Razad, which ended 0-0. Olympic Lyon were 4-1 winners over Das Karabakh. For Braga, they scored 3 against Das Hoffenheim, and Hoffenheim did not answer any into the back of the net. I mean, the game ended by 3-0. Meanwhile, for Steaua Bucharest, they had to settle for a barren draw with the team of Olympiacos Piru of Greece. And for the team of Eintracht Frankfurt, they traveled away to Midland in Denmark and they won the game by 2-1, with Frank Varos, as said earlier on, having a 4-1 win over Malmo FF of Sweden. Rangers also traveled away to France, that's to Nice, and they managed to thump aside Nice by 4-1. And the last game, which was played in UEFA Europa League, was actually between Slavia Prague and Mourinho's side called Fenerbahce. In the process, Mourinho's side Fenerbahce did beat Slavia Prague by 2-1. And some selected results also in UEFA Europa Conference League, with the team of Cercle Brugge beating Hearts by 2-0. Meanwhile, for Chelsea, they also recorded the same scoreline over Heidenheim of Germany by 2-0. Apoel Nicosia of Cyprus were 0-0 winners over Molde of Norway, with Panathinaikos of Greece edging out Hezeke of Finland by 1-0. Meanwhile, Fiorentina had a 3-2 win over Paphos, and the last game was between Belgium side up against the Switzerland side, and it ended by 2-0 in favor of Lugano, that comes from Switzerland, up against the Gent of Belgium. And let's take a look at the games to be played today. Like I said earlier on, English Premier League is bouncing back tonight, with Brighton and Hove Albion having a game with the team of Southampton. That's in the English Premier League. Meanwhile, in Spanish Primera Division, Real Mallorca is having a date with Valencia, and in German Bundesliga, St. Pauli will be saying hi to Das Holstein Kiel. Meanwhile, in French League 1, Reims is set to have a date with Lens, and in Italian Serie A, Cagliari will lock horns with Das Hellas Verona. And lastly, the other games to be played in English Premier League starting from tomorrow and on Sunday. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. is when Brentford will be having a date with Leicester City, with Newcastle at the same time traveling away to Crystal Palace. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest will have to wake up from the humiliation they had into the hands of the Gunners as they welcome Ipswich Town. Meanwhile, Bournemouth, that was beaten by Brighton and Hove Albion, is traveling away to on-form Wolves, with West Ham United having a tricky fixer up against the team of Arsenal. And then on Sunday, Chelsea will be playing Aston Villa, and this game will be at 4:30. The same time, Manchester United will be staying at Old Trafford as they welcome Everton, and also the same time is when Tottenham Hotspur will be welcoming Fulham in London Derby, and the biggest game of the week will be at 7 p.m. exactly, when Liverpool will be taking on Manchester City. Manchester City right now, they are off form, and Liverpool, they are flourishing in all the leagues. UEFA Champions League, they are terrible. Manchester City, not Manchester City, and also in English Premier League, they are untouchable. That's Liverpool up against Manchester City. That means Manchester City, with the current form they are possessing, they have got a peak to climb when they will be visiting Anfield. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of Das NILECAST News. It has been me, Oraku Benson Pastore, in front of the lens. Let's link up again tomorrow.